Hi guys, my name is Harshit and in this video we will be looking forward some built-in functions of string. In previous video we already discussed about some basics of strings, how we can add and remove. So those functions we will be not looking forward in looking in this particular video. If you haven't watched those videos, I will add the playlist link in the description. You can check it out those videos. So let's get started. So I am taking these two lists for this particular to explain these many functions. So first is the count method. Okay. So it just basically gives the number of times that particular element is there in the list. So let's suppose I am taking list 2, then dot and then count, and I want to count how many times 4 is there in that particular list. Okay. So let's see here it's 1, then 2, 3 and then 4, right? So it should return 4, right? So it's just basically a simple method. It will just return how many times this particular element, like whatever element you will write in inside this braces, that how many times it is present in this particular list. Okay, so this is the simple method. Second is the sort method. Okay, so if I just need to, let's take the list 2, then dot and sort. Okay, so now I'm not passing anything inside this braces, right? So it will give me an ascending order of that particular list. Okay, so let's print it also. So as you can see, I'm getting ascending order, right? But now suppose I need to print in the descending order. How I can do it? So I just again write it list 2 dot sort, and now inside of braces I just need to pass reverse. Okay, reverse equals to true. So if I just pass it like this, reverse equals to true inside this sort function for this particular list. So what now my output will be? It will be in the descending order. Okay, now you can see you can compare those two lists also, right? So this way we generally use sort method. This is for the ascending part and the lower one for the descending part. Okay. Now let's talk about the third method, which is the reverse. So as we all like in the previous video, we already discussed how we can reverse a list with the help of slicing. So if you haven't watched, you can check those like that particular video also. But here we are going to reverse a particular list with the help of this reverse uh, method, right? So how I can do? I just need to pass list one. Let's take the list one here. Okay, so list one is 1, 2, 3.45, 1, and then 3, 4, 5, and then string. Okay. So now if I just take it list 1 dot and then just do it reverse. Okay, so what will be my output? So it will be just printed. Now my starting will be the string, then 345, then 1, then 3.45 like that, right? As we can see here also, right? So in this way we can either this way we can do the reverse, or what is the other way? With the help of slicing. So with the help of slicing, what I can do, I just need to write it like list 1 and then square braces, then colon colon minus 1. Okay, so now my list is this one. Okay, list 1 is this one, where my first index element is string. Okay, so but now as you can see, now it's actually reverse it, right? So it I just reverse it two times, so it will as same as the when I actually declared a particular list. So this is the reverse thing, how I can do reverse. So till now we did it count, sort and reverse. Now let's talk about sum. So sum is basically only available when we have a similar kind of elements. Like let's say in this case I have two lists, right? So if I do this sum in the first list, it gives me an error because I have string also here, right? But if I do sum in the list too, it won't give me an error, right? Because all are the numbers only. So to show you, let's do list one dot sum. Oh, sorry, let's do sum and then inside of that sum let's pass list 1. So if, as you can see, it's already telling you, right, it won't support that the integer and string both in when it's in the same list, right? So now let's do it for list 2. So as you can see, as all are the numbers, right, so it won't give me that particular error again, right? So in this case, it's the simple sum. It will just print the total sum of that particular list. Okay, so now let's talk about the min. So for min also, so if I just do it like let's say min of list 2. Okay, so as you can see in list 2, the minimum element is the 1 only, right? So it will give me 1, right? It is giving the element value, like it giving the value, not the index, right? So it is just the 1 is the minimum, so it's giving me 1, right? So similar way, the max is also same. Okay, so if I just write it like max and then inside of I just pass it list 2, so it is also giving me the maximum element, right, which is 7. Now if suppose I have a separate list, let's say list 3, and inside of that I have suppose small a and then small b. Okay, or let's take capital B. Okay, so this thing I am doing it for because I till now I only do it min max for the number part, right? So I just need to show you how what will be a result if suppose I have a string elements, right? So in this case the sky will be else sky value will be considered. So if I just do it min of list 3, right? So what will be our output? So output will be capital B because it had 66, right, value, right? So as you can see minimum which is coming out to be B. And if I just do the same for the max part also, max of list 3, then it comes out to be A, right, which is 97. So these are the two methods, really simple methods, minimum and maximum. Now let's talk about length. So length method just generally gives the how many elements are there in that particular list. So suppose if I taking list 1, so how many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 elements are there, right? So if I just write it like len, and inside of this if I pass it list 1, then how many like what will be our output? It will be 6, right? It's just giving me the how many elements are there in that particular list. So this one is also the simple method only. Okay, so now let's talk about the index method. So index method actually have 3 arguments. So let's talk about those. So first one is basically the element, then we have beginning, and then we have end. Okay, so last two are basically the index values, starting index or ending index. So this is just to find out a particular element in a particular substring of that, like sub list of that particular main list. Okay, let's say like this. So these two are optionals, like the beginning and end actually are optionals. If you don't want to write it, it is fine, but this element should be there. Okay, so let's say I have list 1 and then I need to find the index of, let's suppose, 2. Okay, so I just need to pass it to here. So what it is giving? Okay, first let's print the list also. So as of now, as we already did so many methods, right? We also our list would have been changed. So let's first do the list one, print the list. Okay, so as you can see, my that particular 2 element is present on the 4th index, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is giving me 4th index. Okay, so this is the simple method. Now what's if suppose I have a string, like I have a list where a particular element is present multiple times. Let's suppose like that. Okay, so for that I can take the second list, right? Okay, so first let's print the second list also. So this is the list. Okay, so let's take list2 dot index, and inside of index let's pass, I need to take know the index of 4. Okay, so what it will give, it is giving 4y. So let's take 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so as there are 4 elements, yes, that is possible, right? List can have duplicate elements also. So, but it will return that index method will return only the first element index. Okay, so that's why it's only returning this particular 4 which is present before all others 4, this particular index value. Okay, so to clarify also, like let's say I have another list. Uh, let's say list 4 have 4, then let's take any other values and then again take 4. Okay, and now if I suppose uh, need to find that list value. Okay, list 4 dot index, and where I just need to pass 4. So what will be our output? Our output should be index 0, right? As you can see, if you have a problem with like it, there is already like sorted, because we already sorted this particular list with the help of sort method, right? In the like here only, right? So that's why I take another list to show you. So if suppose it's not sorted also, it will give you the first element index only wherever it is present. Okay, so this is the simple index method. Okay, so now let's talk about the second last method, which is the copy method. Okay, so it generally just copy a particular list, generally used to copy a particular list. Let's say I want to copy list 1. So what I need to do, I want to just list 1, then write a dot copy. Okay, and then I need to initialize it to list 5. Let's say. Okay, so now as you can see, if I print list 5 here, it will be same as list 1, right? So as you can see, this is the list 1. Okay, okay, just let me just print the list 1 here also, so that I don't need to go up again and again. So this is list 1. Then I am making like doing the copy of list 1 and initializing to list 5, and now the list 5 also has the same value, right? But if suppose I am in the fifth, like in the list 5, if suppose I need to change the 0th index value, I'm changing the 0th index value, which is string, to let's suppose 123. Okay, and if I pass then I am just printing list 5. So you can see that this particular index value has been changed, right? This string is gone, and instead of this string, it's 123, it's there, right? And now if suppose I just pass it list 1, just need to print that list 1. So what it will be, like whether it will change this particular value, this string value in the list 1 also. What's your take? If you don't know, like if you know, you can comment it down. And if you don't know, so this is basically, this copy function is basically a shallow copy. Okay, so if you just changing the value in list 5, it won't change in the list 1, because it's not a deep copy method, right? It is a shallow copy method, so it will just, the list 1 will be the same only, but as you changing the value in the list 5, so only the list 5 will have the latest value. Okay, so this is generally just used to copy a particular list. Okay, so this is done. So let's talk about the last method, which is the clear method. So clear method is basically to clear a particular list, like deleting all the elements of the list and making it empty. Okay, so if you we can see it, like let's suppose list 1, we need to clear it. So what I just need to write, list 1 dot clear. Okay, before clearing, let's print it also to show you that it have some values. So list 1 having these values. Okay, so let's take list 1 dot clear, and if I just shift and enter, so after that if I just need to print those list 1 values, so it will give me empty list. Okay, so basically this is for the clear part. And to remove the elements, to remove all the elements, you can use clear method, and if you want to remove a single element from a list, you can use pop and remove method, which we already discussed in the previous video also. And if suppose you need to remove any sub part of that particular list, right? You don't need to remove either a one or more than like complete list also. So for that we have a separate keyword which is known as del keyword, right? So let's discuss about this part. So this will be our last part for this video. So for del part, like del to use the del keyword, let's use this second list. Okay, so this is the second list. Okay, so let's print it before using the del keyword. So this is the second list. Okay, so suppose I need to remove all these fours. Okay, so what I can do, I just need to write del keyword and then name of that list, then square braces. Inside the square braces, as we already discussed in the slicing part also, so it's like that only. So I just write colon, and before I need to pass starting index. So what is the index of this particular 4, right? Because this is the first index, like this is the first value I need to remove, right? So it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I pass it 4 here. Then what is the index of this last 4? It is 5, 6, 7, right? But I need to pass plus 1, because if I pass 7 only, it will remove the first these 3 fours only, because it won't consider the index, like element of this particular index, if I pass the index of this 4. So what I need to pass? I need to pass which is 5, 6, 7, 8. I need to pass it here 8, right? So if I just do it shift enter, and then if I just, okay, so this is list 2, and then if I do shift enter and then uh, do list 2, print list 2, then you can see that all fours are gone, right? So these things I already discussed in like how we can do slicing part in the previous video. You can check it out from there if you don't know. So basically this is the starting index, this is the stop index, and starting index is considered for the result part, but the stop indexes don't consider, right? So you need to give +1 index if you need to remove this. As we need to remove this particular 4 also, its index is 7, so I need to give the next index which is 8 for this particular 3, right? So now it won't consider this index, like this particular value, but it will consider before all the elements. Okay, so this is what the, like how we can use the del keyword also. So this is all done for the built-in part. In the next video we will be doing some operators for list, what operators we generally use for list. And if you haven't watched our previous videos, so I will be pasting all those links of the playlist in the description. You can check it out from there. And if you have any doubt, you can comment down also. And if you have any, like, want me to do any sort of other topics also, so you can also comment it down. I will make a video on those topics also. So till then, bye.